Very welcome, students. Very welcome, students, to the class of cyber security. I'm just sharing my desktop so that we can start our lecture. So we have already seen this first unit, that is introduction to cybercrime, where we discuss about the basics of cybercrime trade, cybercrime information security, cyber criminals, classification of cybercrimes, and cyber defamation. So today we are going to see the next part, that is the unit number 2, cyber offenses and cyber crime on sorry, we are going to see this cyber forensic first before unit number 3 actually, the digital forensic science, need of computer forensics and other things. Then we are going to see about this unit number 2 later. Say this in unit number 2 means we cyber offenses on crime on mobile. We are talking about social network, and we already have discussed a part of this in the unit number 1 itself. So we consider this as, but first we will go with the digital forensic science, because whenever a crime happens, okay, we get certain type of things. Okay, we are going to discuss the unit number 2 also in parallel with the things, because it's a cyber forensic. Okay, this is a simple thing that you have to always have to keep in mind. Whenever a crime happens, it leaves a trail of evidence. Evidence, okay, which can prove the which can prove the, what you can say, happenings or happening of crime, and can point out the criminal or group of criminals. So whenever a crime happens, it actually leaves the trail of evidence. Now, what is evidence? Evidence is something, any proof that actually shows or gives a detail or some partial information, detail or partial information regarding a crime. Okay. The evidence are of three types. Evidence are of three types. First evidence is called as weight evidence. Weight evidence or biological evidence. So, say suppose a crime happened, someone murdered somebody or someone raped somebody, and likewise. Then whatever the biological secretions are there, blood, hair, and other samples, those are called as the biological or weight evidence. This is the first type of evidence. This is the thing. Second type of the evidence that is there, it's called as a circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. Example of this circumstantial evidence are example of these uh, weight evidence are simple. Okay, that is what can I say, blood, hair, and body fluids. Okay? These are the biological evidences. Yeah, blood, hair, body fluids. These are the biological evidences. What are the circumstantial evidence? Circumstantial evidence are eyewitness says to crime, eyewitnesses to crime. Okay, situations pointing towards possibility of crime, all the situations which cause a crime, and particularly criminal. So suppose someone committed the crime, but there is no weight evidence is available, or whatever weight evidence available is not sufficient to pin down that particular criminal. Then some certain type of situations. Okay, somebody has seen that person with the victim, and likewise that can be considered as the circumstantial evidence, and that situation also can pinpoint the criminal. The third type of what you can say evidence which we are dealing with are called as digital evidence. Digital evidence. When we say this is digital evidence, so what are the digital evidence? Again, when we say evidence, it means the set of different proofs available. Evidence is singular and plural in itself. Okay, you can't call it as evidences. So digital evidence. So any information or to say any material, instead of saying any material found in a digital device. Okay, in a digital device, okay, can be considered considered as digital evidence. Digital evidence. Okay. Any material found in digital device can be considered as digital evidence if it possibly show some relation with crime or whatever crime happened. I'm not saying cyber crime only. Any type of crime. Let's say suppose one person murdered other person, and while he was murdering this person, okay, he is having a mobile phone in his pocket. Yeah. So, the person who was getting murdered, the victim, to save himself, grab this person, and that mobile phone, what you can say, become turn off in the fight. Okay, then the last location of that phone on that time was recorded on that particular mobile tower, and then that becomes the circumstantial evidence or the material or data. And now this circumstantial evidence is called the digital evidence. We can show that the criminal was present at the time of happening of that particular crime, and law can say seize or law can capture the criminal based on that. So this is what we call digital evidence. Or let's say suppose someone want to commit a crime. Someone want to commit a crime. Okay. What generally people do, let's say suppose if you want to what you can say starting say take a revenge on someone, and for that purpose what you will do, you will go on the Google and somewhere, and you will search for the different type of things which can be used to harm some person. Okay, to harm some person. And now let's say suppose you fight with that person, and you what can say you actually learn on the Google, on YouTube and other things, some fighting techniques, close combat techniques. You are just searching for the close combat techniques, then you practice it, and then you use it on that particular person, okay, on whom you want to take the revenge. Yeah. the crime is happened, this person filed complaint against you, okay, that you beat him. Now the police have no eyewitness, nobody has seen you are beating that person, okay, and only that person is saying that you really beat this person. Now the police want to prove that you are the criminal. Okay, circumstantial evidences are there because when fight occurs, that person also have punch, let's say you, and likewise. But because you become an expert in close combat, you actually what can I say block his attack and punch him. So the police will investigate in your internet history, in your internet history, where it will show that for last 6 months or for last 1 year you are searching on such type of material, you are practicing these things and like, and then police can say okay, this person have no, searched for this person have practice this using YouTube and so there is a possibility that he may have mastered the skill and beat the person. So the case stand in a court. Now it is up to the court whether it accept the things as the undeniable evidence or just things. So the evidence won't say that you are a criminal. The evidence must need to get admissible in a court. Means the court required to accept that evidence. When the evidence is accepted by court, the court can say the evidence shows that there is a possibility of doing such things. So be a you can get punished for that particular crime. So that is a digital evidence. Any type of data that you leave back before committing the crime. So when a crime happens, a weight evidence is always there because anytime, even if it is a cyber crime, you leave the weight evidence. For example, let's say suppose you are hacking someone's machine from some internet cafe. Now, to hack someone's machine from some internet cafe or from your phone, also you are touching their, yeah, you are touching the keypad and other thing for the code programming likewise, and you are leaving your body fluids, okay, the fingerprints and other things, okay, there, that those are the weight evidence. Now the circumstantial digital evidence means when you go to a particular cafe and if you want to know that it's whether you who actually attack on a particular machine from that machine or not, I need to get the CCTV evidence. So any material, now the CCTV are recorded your entry into that particular cafe and your exit in the particular cafe. Let's say suppose your entry was on 9:30 a.m. and you exited the cafe at 11 a.m. So from 9:30 to 11 a.m. you were in the cafe and at the same time the attack happened. So you can say that okay, this person may be behind the particular attack. It won't give directly that you are the attacker. Okay, so at that time maybe two, three other persons may be in an internet cafe. Then the cafe owner will say, okay, this. Then they will go on checking. Okay, you have seat on the computer number one. So they will check the data logs on the computer number one, which with the computer number one connected and likewise, and they can grab you as a criminal. So weight evidence is biological evidences. Means your fingerprints are the biological evidences because fingerprints happens on something when our body actually transfers some oily material. What on our body is always have some oily material on it. Okay, whenever you touch something, the oily material transfers on that surface and remain there at least for 72 hours if nobody what you can say hampers it. And if conditions are good, then it can be traced back even after a millennial year. Okay, so that is the weight evidence. Then when you are doing this, now what is circumstantial evidence? The entry and exit in a CCTV camera. Okay, now CCTV camera is a digital device. Okay, so that is why digital evidence is any material found in a digital device, not just in a computer. Okay, so CCTV camera is a digital device and your record is found in its memory. So that is a digital device, and the circumstantial evidence is that the cafe owners told that you come there, you register there, you sit on that particular computer, you work from that particular computer. Some of your friends may say, okay, he is habitual to go to that particular cafe at this particular time and like so. All those are the circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidences are situations only point to the possibility that you may be involved, or what you can say that offender, instead of saying you, because it comes to directly on your offender may be involved into that crime. Okay, so when things happen, these are used. Now what is digital evidence? Are your record and something. Now CCTV camera is there, in camera is directly showing that you have gone into that particular cafe, you exit from that particular cafe. Now let's say suppose inside the cafe there is a CCTV camera and it is having the recording that you sat there, then that CCTV camera even can record your activities on that particular computer, and then that can be the digital evidence against the offender or the person who used that computer to hack somebody's what you can say machine or something. So these are the things that we have to consider, or we have to think in terms of the so when we say this digital forensic science, we are actually first have to classify what is crime. Okay, so do you got what type of evidence we get when any crime happens, whether it is a simple crime, okay, that is non-cyber crime, or whether it is a cyber crime? We always get the three type of evidence. You got this? Hello, hello, student. Yes, no. I am not asking you the question. Just I am asking whether you understood the things or not. Say yes or no. I am okay. Abhilash.
Yes, sir,
Okay,
understood.
okay, thanks. So you people have understood this thing. So this is the when a crime happen. Now what are the parties in a crime? A crime never happens singularly. Means a single person can't do the crime in vacuum. So whenever crime is there, okay, any crime, cyber or any crimes, crime is equals to you have the offender, and I'm saying in these offenders, means you may have the group or a singular, and then you have the victim or victims. Okay, plus you have the offender, you have the victims, plus you have the reason. There is always some reason behind every crime. Crime won't happen in vacuum. Crime won't happen without and relation. There is no possibility of crime without having any relation. Means if you don't know the person, it is obvious in a criminal record that there may not be any crime at all. So say Africa, means someone is living in Africa, you are living here. Is it possible that you will harm that person unnecessarily? No. Rage, what we call as a love, hate, and these type of things are there. Trust is a one type of relation. Okay, right now you trust me being your teacher. I trust you being my student. Now this trust is there. So one can break that trust, and when we break the trust, what we call it as a betrayal. ओके, हम उसको विश्वासघात बोलते हैं. बट इफ यू ब्रेक दैट ट्रस्ट, लेट्स से समवन इज ट्रस्टिंग यू, that is suppose you means trusting you, and he just enjoying the view from gallery. Okay, view from gallery, you are just standing behind that person, but that person trusts you. So he what can I say, don't give any type of no doubt comes into his or her mind, and you suddenly push that person from the gallery. What it is called as, it is called as a betrayal of a trust. So that is a type of relationship, that is a type of relationship what we say. So every criminal generally try to get such type of relation. Even say suppose some dacoity going to happen on someone's house, okay, there is a type of relation. Dacoity won't happen overnight, okay, What exactly happens how this criminal works? The criminals generally have their sleeper cell, what we can call as an observers. They go into that particular region, and when they go into that particular region, they try to locate the what you can say house. They try to locate the house, and when they locate the house, they once located the house, they try to get the information of that house. So generally, when they try to get the information of that house, they come as a beggar, they come as a someone you can trust, they may come as a hawker, street hawker, and likewise they try to communicate, and they try to find out how many people were used in that particular house at a particular time. And then they also try to find out what the neighborhood. So what happens? A tribe of trust is first built. A relation is built with that particular place, and reason is obviously their reason is to get money without doing authentic work. Crime is simple thing. Yeah, behind any crime, if it's for money, that it is without doing any work. Means let's say suppose someone is working for a month in a particular organization getting his salary. He is not committing any crime. But when he get the salary, someone comes and pickpocket that salary from that person. It is a crime because he actually not given that so done any authentic work for that. Okay. Even if you think the pickpocketing is a type of work, it is not authentic work. It is not what you can say socially accepted work. Okay, because it is harmful. You are actually financially harming that person. So there are always these things. And whenever a crime happens, there is always an offender or a criminal, and there is always a victim, okay, or a group of victims. So generally, whenever a crime happens, there are always two type of victims there. One is called as a direct victim, okay, who faces the what you can say atrocity of that particular crime, and indirect victims. Say something bad happens with some member in your family, okay, direct, he is a direct victim, and the rest of the family members become indirect victims. The society is also the indirect victim. So whenever a crime happens, there is always a set of victims. One is a direct, and another are the indirect victims. Offenders also, there are direct offenders and there are indirect offenders. Indirect offenders means someone is having rage against someone. Okay, someone say suppose person A is having rage, hate against person B, but person A is not capable to harm this person B, so he may hire the third party to harm this person B. Okay, so let's say A hired the C, that is a criminal, to harm the B. Then we can call this A as the indirect offender. It is not directly attacking, but it is the one who is already involved in that crime. So such type of thing. So whenever we say crime, it is actually the outcome of these things. Okay. There are different type of reasons. The primary reasons for the crime are generally money. Okay. Our primary reason of the crime is generally money. Secondary reason for the crime is always lust. Secondary reason for the crime is always lust. Okay, the third reason for the crime is power. Many times the power hungry people who want to control the life, or you can say the happenings in the other lives of people, they generally go on committing the crimes. Okay, generally go on committing the crime. And then there is the fourth reason for the crime, all type of beliefs. Whatever you believe, then that can be the reason for a crime. So let's say suppose someone believe that his or her what you can say nation is the greatest, then it start to abuse the other nations. Example is Hitler. He said that Nazi German are the greatest, and it's go. So that caused the war. War is a crime against humanity. War is a crime against humanity. So reasons are always this. First is money, petty crimes. Lust, animalistic crime, or what you can say the crimes based on whenever you say lust, most actually the sexual predators, what we call the rapists. Okay, they go on doing that of crime, and to do those crime, for example, someone is a criminal he will always go for that type of material, searching for that type of things, and likewise. So you will get many type things, and relation is always there. To commit some crime, generally the offender makes certain type of relationship. Generally, the victim knows this offender in advance. In advance, 95 to 97% of time, victim and the criminal were from the known, what you can say, area. Means they know each other somehow. They know each other somehow. Okay. Only 1 to 5% crimes are there. Okay. Where are there where the victims may not know the criminal directly. Okay. So these are the things. Now, what is forensic? We are not talking about here the crime right now. We are talking about a digital forensic science. So let's see what is forensic or what is digital forensic science. So first, let's see what is the forensic. Forensics is what? Okay, is a branch. Is a branch of science which focuses on what we call say recovery and investigation. Recovery and investigation of evidence found. Okay, actually this investigation of evidence found at the crime place are related to crime but not found at the crime place. So this is forensics. So forensics is a branch of science where it which focuses on recovery. So some crime is happen. Some crime is happen. I in one of my lecture I have discussed with you that case which happened where that husband was from Nagpur and the wife was from Pune. They were got love marriage. Okay, and after some time they got some problem in their marriage. He started doubting her. Okay, because he was in Nagpur and she was in Pune, so he used the what you can say internet to search how to commit murder and something like this, means how to kill some person without leaving a trace. And then he go to this some medical store where he procure or what can I say got the arsenic powder, which is generally odorless and tasteless white powder. Arsenic is poisonous, okay, but can be used as a medicine in many medicinal treatments. So he actually collected that arsenic, came to the Pune, and he mixed all that arsenic into the edible in the Pune's house and gone to the Nagpur. When this wife eat those edibles in the house which are full of arsenic, okay, she become affected by the arsenic when you take in what you can say more than more what can say real some particular portion. So some say 1 mg is not harmful, maybe 2 mg harmful. Okay, so if you take arsenic more into your system, it can actually make your internal system porous. Okay, so your food canal become porous. That is your colon or your small colon, and even some blood vessels may get internal damage, and you may die due to the internal bleeding and something. So that wife die like that. The homemade that is made at that how her house doubted that how a lady who is physically so fit can die suddenly like this. So she actually complained it to the police. Police came, they found unnecessarily, what you can say, arsenic in almost all labels. So they doubt, but they never come to know at first how that arsenic come. But then the neighbor told that a month before her husband come to visit her. Okay, and then they go to her husband's things, and they found that he used to search regarding arsenic and how to, you can say, administer it into edibles for almost for the 7 to 8 months on the internet. Okay, and then he collected that data and used it. So that data on the internet wasn't available at the place of crime, but it was related to the crime. So that is forensic science. So what is digital forensics? Okay, so you got this. I think you got this very clear. So what is digital forensics? So obviously, digital forensics is the branch of science which focuses. Okay, you don't need to do much, or you can say, modification into the definition the recovery recovery and investigation of, now we just say, digital evidence found in the digital devices, okay, at the crime place and related to crime. So there may be the digital devices which are there at the crime place itself, or there may be the digital, devices, the digital evidence which are related to crime but not at the crime place. For example, the digital device of searching for the arsenic in this case of this husband, okay, were actually in some computers which he used at Nagpur, but crime actually happened in Pune. So such type of crimes happens everywhere. I'm not mentioning the name of criminals or the offenders, or neither mentioning the name of the, what you can say, victims, because when the cases are with the court, okay, we can't name the things, and even if the cases are not with the court, it is, I think, not good to name the things, because sometimes what happens, even someone commit a crime, whether you, me, or anybody, when someone commit a crime and if you go on mentioning that crime of the person, because crimes are not happen without any reason, maybe for that particular reason the crime happened, but afterwards, as our Indian penal code says, or even the international penal codes also says that we must have to give, what you can say, some scope to the criminal to become, to come into the main, what you can say, course of life. And so generally it is not good, at least while teaching the subjects, to name these people. But if you search on the internet, if you go through the news channels, the crime reporters and everything, you will get the name and everything of such type of cases. And even if you go through the databases of court, you will get so many such things are there. But obviously, there are certain type of crimes. Crimes are of different type. When planned crime are there, accidental crimes are there, and rage crimes are there. Generally, the accidental crimes and rage crimes are not committed by the criminal-minded people. They are accidentally, मतलब समझो, आपको बहुत गुस्सा आ गया और अपने गुस्से में किसी को एक थप्पड़ मार दिया. Okay, you are in a rage and you just strike this person, you slap the person very, what you can say, heavily. But just consider the person is having some element of a crack, bones, and you are having a little bit more what you can say power in you. When you slap the person fall down on the ground, and let's say suppose his or her head hits to the ground, okay, and that person go into coma or die there. So, was your intention to kill the person, or was the intention of that person who slapped the other person was to kill that person? No. But crime happened. But the crime happened. So such type of accidental crimes, okay, when committed by someone, you have to consider that person not as a criminal, but you just have to consider that person in a different way. There are two type of criminals. One is what is accidental, which are generally not the criminal minded people, and then you are the hardcore criminal. Crime is their profession. Okay, in that case you must have to be very stern. Okay, but there you have to mention the name of the criminal and everything. So let's come to our subject. What is this digital forensics science that we are seeing? Now we are going to see the life cycle. Life cycle means what exactly happens in a digital forensic. So whenever a digital forensic means again what we are trying to collect the data which actually happen or found at the place what we call this place as when a particular data regarding some crime is there, okay, we have to check for this thing. So what is the steps of digital forensics? So let's call this steps of digital forensics. Digital forensics. So what are the steps? The first step for digital forensics is you have to identify identification. So whenever crime happen, whenever crime happens, you need to identify the digital evidences. You need to identify the digital evidence at the crime place first, because digital evidence related to crime, yeah, that will come when the investigation start. But whenever crime happen, when the person goes to the what can I say place where the crime actually happened, there you need to identify the what you can say the evidence. And there are three type of evidence. First is the weight evidence, which is most important. Another is circumstantial evidence, all the eyewitnesses, and then you are having the digital evidence. Let's say suppose someone committed the crime. Okay, someone committed the crime. Let's say a person A was driving in a rush. Person A was driving in a rush and is going to his house, and he just missed a pedestrian and hit that pedestrian, but he won't stop there and run out from the place. He won't stop there and run out from the place. The person who got hit by this bike, what a hit and run case, this is the crime. The person who got hit by this vehicle fall down on the street, and due to internal, what you can say, bleeding and other things, die there slowly. Okay, slowly and very painfully. Yeah. Now someone saw this and say recorded on. Nowadays this is what happening. People, instead of helping the what you can say the people, okay, who get injured or something, they go on recording the things on mobile first. Okay, so someone recorded this and shared with his or her friends, shared his or with friends, and someone from that friend circle notified the things to the nearest police station, and now police come there. Let's consider that you are hired by this police as a forensic officer. So now it's your duty first to identify the different evidences or different evidence that so what evidence you will get at the crime place. The first is the person was hit by a vehicle. A vehicle is having what? Tire is having a spring, and that print will be printed on the body of that person wherever that vehicle hit. A machine will also have some machine, that is a vehicle will have some oil and other thing that will sprinkle on the, what we can say, sprayed on that particular person's body. Even when such vehicle hits someone, the vehicle also get the body, that is blood and other things, transferred to on some part of that vehicle, but vehicle is not there, but that is a possibility. So these things are registered. So when these things happens, the color and everything, and even see if you are a bike, and when bike hits somebody, bike may fall down. So when bike fell down, you may get the blood samples which won't match with the victim. So possibility that blood samples are of the person who hit that person and run off from that place. Okay, so these are the weight evidences. Now let's say when someone fall down, he may lose his wristwatch, mobile phone, and other things. That was the digital evidence. On road, you will have the CCTV camera. That is, those are the digital evidence at a crime place. So from that CCTV camera, you can get what exactly happened. You already have this mobile recording, and you come to know the person who actually recorded the thing. So this person may have seen these two people. So he is the eyewitness. This is circumstantial evidence. So this is called as identification of evidence. Once this identification is done, you require to preserve the evidence. Okay, you require to preserve the evidence. That is the second step. Preservation. So what is preservation? You require to catch the body evidence or the weight evidence, that by wearing the gloves and everything, so that your DNA samples or other things may not get mixed with them. You have to put that into the sterilized, what you can say, containers. At the same time, you have to collect all the data from the CCTV cameras, the recordings of these cell phones and everything, and photographs of the crime place for, what you can say, the things when the crime happens. It's recorded. So that is called preservation. Even you have to take this eyewitness in confidence, because many times when crime happens and someone see it, that person do not want to give any type of witness in court, because people don't like to do that things, and so you have to take in confidence this person, so that the person can give witness against the criminal. Okay, and that is what we call as a preservation. This preservation is there. The third step. Now this third step is analysis. Why you require to analyze the things? Because not all evidence are permissible or admissible in court. So to make the case stand up, the forensic expert need to analyze the evidence for its strongness. Okay, you will always get three type of evidence. Okay, and these three type of evidence will always have three type of levels: strong evidence, okay, weight evidence or the biological evidence are considered as strong evidence. Okay, let's say suppose someone who is died, and your DNA sample found on his shirt, clothes, or say on the weapon, then it without any doubt proves that who is the offender or who is the criminal. That's why weight evidence are considered the strongest one. Then you are on the circumstantial evidence. So someone claimed that he or she saw the offender committing that particular crime, but let's say in a court it was proven that the person who is saying, admitting that he or she saw the crime happening, is not having a proper eyesight. Okay, then that is called circumstantial. So it is a weaker. Now, digital evidence in the real crime is quite difficult to prove. You require to give the strong evidence, what can say, relationship between that digital evidence and something. For example, in this hit and run case, if you found some mobile phone there, okay, some mobile phone on the crime place, and if you say because this mobile phone was found there in a crime place, the owner of this mobile phone may be, I'm not saying is, maybe the criminal. it may happen that someone actually have stolen someone's mobile, and after what you can say stealing that mobile, they try to run away in a haste and hit that person, and the stolen mobile fall there. So this stolen mobile may be of another victims, so person who have nothing to do with that particular crime. So digital evidence may or may not be seen. So that's why you have to do the proper analysis of all the evidence collected. That is the third step in a digital forensic. Okay. Now when we do all these things, the fourth is you require to document these things. Fourth stage is required to document this. Okay. You require to document the things. That is, okay, when the police there goes, they generally have this file and they put on that file the area number, the date, the time, who reported the crime at which time, and likewise and everything. These things get documented, okay, in presence of what can I say, some people, and some or punch, what we call as, okay, and fifth step, once this documentation is done as what you can say provided by directions in IPC, Indian Penal Code. Okay, sorry, not just not Indian Penal Code. There is a law. It's called as Criminal Procedure Code, CRPC 1973, which comes into the force in 1st April 1974 in India. You have to identify, preserve, analyze, and document everything in respect of this CRPC. So while identifying, preserving, or analyzing that particular evidence, if the forensic team, or if the investigation, police investigation team or crime investigation team make some error into that particular analysis, in particular process, okay, means they won't comply by the CRPC, then that evidence is considered as not admissible in a court. Okay, so even if you have the evidence, even if the evidence is a strong evidence, but if that evidence is not collected in compliance with CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code, then that evidence is not admissible in a court, or a court simply reject that evidence. And in such cases, even after having the strong evidence, but because the error in evidence collection and preservation, you may lose the criminal, or criminal may lose free without any punishment for whatever crime happened or committed by that particular criminal. The fifth is what we call as a presentation of evidence in court. Okay, presentation of evidence in court. So when you present the evidence in court, okay, court is not going to accept evidence very easily. You'll always have two advocates, one who is fighting to prove the crime, another who is fighting to prove that the person who is labeled as a criminal is actually innocent of the crime and not committed the crime. So there goes many things to prove your evidence as a wrong or false or non-admissible. So the presentation required to be very very strong, and that happens only through the documentation. So proper documentation, photographs, everything, eyewitnesses, those things need to be done. So whether it is a forensic, means plain forensic, or whether it is digital forensic, all these five steps, okay, all these five steps must have to be completed. These are the five steps. All these steps must comply with Criminal Procedure Code CRPC 1973 and Indian Penal Code IPC. Okay, and in case of digital evidence, digital evidence, okay, must comply with IT Act, Information Technology Act 2000 of India. because we are considering crime happen in India. So these three laws you require to comply. You say suppose if you recorded someone's speech on your mobile, many people just say that is okay. Call someone and try to record that speech and say that this is the code or this is the thing that is I'm saying that evidence against this person's behavior or something. The court may say this is not admissible in a court because you have taken this because you have taken these things without the consent of the party without the legal authority. Means you are not a CBI officer to record someone's things. Okay, so because law not have given you the authority to record someone's speech, or you recorded it just to defame that particular person, your intention is itself not good. So not the person whose speech you recorded is criminal, but you who recorded that speech is a criminal. This is the simple way of law, quite bended, but the thing is there that even if you install a CCTV camera on your premises just to you can say see the burglars or the things, but if you are not taken the prior permission from the police department, okay, from the police department, or if you are not inform this to the police department as per the Indian laws, okay, then whatever things recorded on that CCTV camera, let's say someone is going by the road, okay, and he's just say doing something and it is recorded, then this recording is done without permission of that person, it is actually offense into the privacy of that person. Okay, so that person may file against you a complaint, FIR, first information report, in the police station, and you may get punished for that. So whenever we use such type of things, we must have to see the proper what you can say licenses of the things. Just installing the CCTV is not enough. You require the legal sanctioning of that CCTV installation, and you have to inform to the police station that in your premises you have installed these many CCTVs and it's going to what you can say record this area and at this length. Okay, so this is what the things are there. Law is quite complicated, seems to be complicated, but it is in that way because it try to protect each and every innocent person. Okay, and that's why it is that complicated. Okay, so now let's see what are the what is the life cycle of digital evidence. What is the life cycle of digital evidence? Okay, this is already 2:42 p.m. So we are not having sufficient time to discuss the life cycle of the digital evidence. So I just go through the one portion of this unit number 2, that is categories of cybercrime, that we have already seen in the lecture. In a cybercrime the categories, there are two type of categories: technical cybercrime is there, non-technical cybercrime is there, and in non-technical those are generally based on the human nature, technical are using the technologies and likewise. We already have learned about this security measure other things, passive attack, social engineering, so cyber stalking also. So categories of cyber crime. We are going to see the life cycle of evidence or the digital forensic in next lecture. From the unit number 2, what is the category of cyber crime? That is I'm saying. The first category of cyber crime is cyber crime based on human nature, or you can say exploiting the human nature. Human nature. Okay. So phishing is the best example for this. Phishing is best example of this, where people out of their greed, out of their greed, can go for say so, for the wrong offer and can become the victim of financial frauds. Okay. Second is what we can say social friendship. Okay. Social friendship. Or what can say cyber defamation, threat of cyber defamation, threats of cyber defamation. आपने the Drishyam movies you have seen. Okay, the in Drishyam that criminal actually records that girl and then say that I'm going to make this viral. Okay, if you don't satisfy these things. Now he is a sexual predator, so he asks for the sexual favors. If he is a money criminal, such criminals will ask for the money and something. So these are the steps. But this happens just because many times we think in terms of what can say our social status, and we don't want to get our social status damaged, and the criminal uses that as what you can say the tool or mean to blackmail the people by taking their photographs in some uh, way which are not socially acceptable and then threatening them that they can make these photographs online, and these things are very possible. Means you first become the friend with someone on social media, win the trust of that person, then go on chatting on this person, live video camera chat and something, and when the trust become a little bit thicker, okay, the person may do some things which he or she thinks are very what you can say good to have progress in the relation, but the other person catches that video and then uses the same thing against the person and blackmail that person. Okay, so these are the crimes which are based on the human nature. So if you not understood anything or if you have any question, queries or doubt, you can ask me. Technical crime that we are going to see in detail with the cyber forensic things in the next lecture. So do you have any questions? If you don't have any questions, queries, uh, okay, I'm already having your list here, all people's list who are actually right now present. And some people may have left the session. Okay, the session may be cut off of them due to the network issue, but their attendance is already registered into the system. So thank you very much, students. Okay, someone has raised the hand. Let's see. Someone raised the hand. Sorry, my mistake. I thought someone has raised the hand, but it wasn't. Okay. Thank you very much for listening me so carefully and for giving your time to the upstairs lecture. So I'm just ending the session for all of us. Thank you.